What is going on, guys? Welcome to Outside the Brand. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for April 19th, 2023. I'm your host, Phil, and of course, this is Outside the Brand. Thank you so much for joining me right here on your Wednesday nights, wherever you may be. Guys, Dynamite tonight was a little bit all over the place, but I thought it was a good show overall. We can obviously see AEW making their progressions towards Double or Nothing as we head towards the pay-per-view. Yeah, man. We have a 4 pillars tournament to determine the number one contender for MJF and the AEW World Championship at Double or Nothing, which is an interesting choice to say the least. I thought it was going to be leading towards a fatal 4-way at the pay-per-view, but apparently that's not going to be the case as we have a 4 pillars. If you guys hear banging in the background, I apologize for that. We're doing some work in the kitchen and they are still here. So I apologize for that. But we have a 4 pillars tournament to determine the number one contender for the AEW World Championship at Double or Nothing, which is a very interesting way to go about it. I thought, like I said, it was going to be leading towards the Fatal 4-Way. But they decided to go the one-on-one championship route, which it's okay in the end. But honestly, at the end of the day, I hope that all 3 of these guys still get their chance to be going after MJF and the AEW World Championship, because, I mean, that's what we were leading towards at first, and then all of a sudden we have this 4-pillar tournament to determine the number one contender between the 3 guys in Darby, Sammy Guevara, and Jungle Boy. So that's interesting in itself. We're going to have to figure all of that out. We have Sammy Guevara winning the main event tonight, which is a very interesting move. I actually like the move. I think Sammy Guevara winning was great, especially in the dastardly way that he did when it comes to MJF. We'll get into everything when it comes to those two and their relationship heading into that main event later on tonight. So that's going to be something to talk about. We have a new TNT champion to talk about, or I should say the new 24/7 champion to be talking about. It's a running joke at this point that the TNT Championship is just treated like fucking garbage on AEW programming. And the fact of the matter is the AEW TNT Championship is not what it used to be, and it's always it's had this stigma on it that this championship has not been as prestigious as it once was over the last few months, and it showed. It's absolutely showing, and now we have a new TNT champion. Wardlow is now a 3-time TNT champion. And I saw it coming from a mile away. As soon as we were in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as soon as we were in Wardlow's hometown, as soon as everything was kind of just aligning, as soon as, honestly, Arn Anderson aligned himself with Wardlow, and Wardlow got Arn Anderson to be out there with him tonight to be a part of the match, I'm like, the guy's winning. The guy's winning the TNT Championship. Powerhouse Hobbs is going to be another transitional champion for this title, and he is only going to have a 40-day reign as the TNT champion, which sucks. I really like Powerhouse. I thought Powerhouse could actually be something for this championship, and now it's just in complete shambles. The TNT Championship has no identity. It has no identity. It has no purpose anymore. TV championships in 2023 just simply do not work, and they should just not be a thing. I am tired of the disrespect for this championship. I am tired of the disrespect of the people that are holding this championship, mainly because of the fact you're not only making the championship look bad, you're not only making the championship, have less prestige every single time you switch this championship and every time you hot potato it, one guy to another guy to another guy to another guy, you're also losing credibility in those people that are holding that championship. So this is just a terrible way to go about things when it comes to that TNT championship, and I'm not happy about it. I am not happy about it. At this point in time, for me, the International Championship is a lot more prestigious than the TNT Championship. TV championships in 2023 just simply do not work, and it is just it's showing. It's absolutely showing in that championship. Honestly, to me, I would not mind it if they just retired it and just continued to go on with the International Championship as the second most important title for the men's singles division in AEW, because TNT title means absolutely nothing nowadays. And it is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm only going to tell you guys the truth over here. So if you guys don't like that, I apologize. But at the end of the day, it is my opinion. The TNT title means absolutely nothing, and it is what it is. Also tonight on the show, the face-to-face between Chris Jericho and Adam Cole. That was fantastic. Seeing Adam Cole being handcuffed to the ring rope to watch his wife, Dr. Britt Baker D.M.D, get pummeled with kendo stick shots from Saraya and the Outcasts. That was great just to see, the emotion on Adam Cole's face, yelling to Britt Baker, I am sorry, I did not mean for this to happen, I didn't want any of this to happen, all this kind of stuff, is legitimately showing that Adam Cole as a babyface in AEW is going to work, and it is going to be okay seeing Adam Cole as a babyface. The babyface ascension for Adam Cole is happening, and that is a great thing to see. And Jericho is just brilliant. Jericho is a brilliant mind, whether you like him or whether you don't. In this business, he is easily one of the greatest of all time. And the fact of the matter is, we saw absolute perfection tonight in that entire segment. I understand some of the stuff that, the booking decisions for some of the stuff here tonight were definitely a little wonky, and I'd be lying to you guys if I said that this was a flawless show. This is not a flawless show by any means. There are a ton of things that we need to work on when it comes to AEW, but at this current state in time, we are building towards Double or Nothing, and you can clearly see that, and you can clearly see the wheels turning and the gears grinding as we head towards the Double or Nothing pay-per-view event. So I implore you guys to continue to hold on with me just a little longer as we get through everything, as we get through the next few weeks as we head to Double or Nothing, because Double or Nothing is it's about a month away now. So I mean, we just gotta do a few more shows and continue to grind in order to find out what Tony Khan has in store for us at Double or Nothing. It's looking to be a great show already, with the BBC, with the BCC, and the Elite and everything like that. That was fantastic as well. We saw Konosuke Takeshita aligning himself with the Elite, which is fantastic, because if you guys have seen Don Callis trying to recruit Konosuke into the fold, and when we saw Konosuke get over there with the Elite and everything like that, that to me personally spoke volumes, only because of the fact that when you're standing with the Elite, your trajectory to the top of the card skyrockets. It is skyrocketing to the top for Konosuke Takeshita, and I could not be more proud of him, because he honestly has deserved it. He has deserved it because he has shown that this guy can do what it can do what it takes in order to get things done around here. Konosuke Takeshita is fantastic, and hell knows, maybe we see like a new reemergence of the Golden Lovers, with Takeshita and Kenny Omega. Who knows? But trust me, Kota Ibushi will be here in AEW as well. It's only a matter of time. But who knows? We'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. How about that? But regardless, guys, we're going to be talking about everything that happened tonight on AEW Dynamite. I really do appreciate you guys being here, talking through it to me talking to me through it with you guys all. And yeah, We're going to talk about all things AEW Dynamite tonight. But before we do, shout out to our sponsor in SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an application that you can get on your cellular device where you guys can go get your wrestling tickets or basically anywhere, basically any ticket that you want. Go there, use the code OTB, get $20 off at checkout for your first purchase. You are going to get. So I will be switching over to Cam. And add him. Can I add him, please? There we go. No, I can't. Wait. There we go.
Surprise
okay.
Ryan.
What up, Weaver?
Yo.
There you go, man. How'd you feel about Dynamite tonight, man?
From what I was watching of it, I was really excited about it. Honestly, my favorite thing out of the whole thing was that the segment where they start combining JAS and Outcast. That's like why I posted in our chat. So smart. That's probably the best decision they could have made because they go.
Jericho's a brilliant mind. He is a brilliant mind, man. You know, having that in the palm of his hands, having that in the wings, having that in his back pocket is like, oh yeah, I got you, motherfucker.
Right.
I got you where it's gonna hurt, and that's like, dude, it's so good.
And then to attack Britt Baker and make Adam Cole watch in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Of all places.
Yes.
Jesus.
And then you can see the emotion on Adam Cole's face, yelling to Britt Baker, I am sorry. I did not mean for this to happen. I never wanted any of this to happen. Dude, Adam Cole as a babyface is going to work in this company.
It's going 100%.
To work. It's going to work. The ascension of babyface Adam Cole started tonight, and it's only going to get better. But man, you know, Chris Jericho is just a brilliant guy. How do you feel about this whole hold on. Well, I'm just gonna finish up what I was doing with the whole sponsorship and everything, and then I'll ask you another question. So thank you, SeatGeek, for sponsoring today's show. Use SeatGeek to get all your ticketing purchases and everything like that. You guys know you're getting the best deal using SeatGeek, and when you do, make sure to use the code OTB at checkout for $20 off your first purchase. Thank you, SeatGeek, for being a part of the OTB family. Follow me on social media. All the TikTok links are down in the description below. Special shout out and a special birthday shout out goes to Megan, a part of OTB. She is now of legal age to have a fine have a beverage. You know, have a beverage. So have a cold one on me, Megan. Happy birthday, girl. We all love you over here on OTB, and we will definitely talk to you soon. If you guys missed anything on the other on the channel during the course of the week so far, go down. All of it's at the homepage. So if you missed anything, go check that out and hit the like button. Hit the like button. That always helps the channel. And as we grow to as we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you never miss when we go live. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let's talk about Dynamite tonight, man. 4 Pillars tournament. How do you feel about that? I like it and I don't at the same time, because we all thought it was kind of leading towards a fatal 4-way. And that's not going to happen now. MJF said that himself on Twitter. He's like, yeah, you guys thought it was going to be a fatal 4-way. Cry about it. Which, that's MJF for you right there. But a tournament with 3 guys, when one of them gets a bye because of a hat drawing, like, I don't know how to feel about that, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I kind of understand where they're going with, like, why they would do that. I guess it fit with Sammy's promo that he cut when he was talking about how, you know, like it's always been Jungle Boy and MJF that get everything. So like to have MJF come out there and basically just prove him wrong. It's like you say Sammy Darby doesn't get anything. Well, guess what? Darby got. So now it's just Sammy that doesn't get anything. You know. So.
We got Terry coming in here. So there's a 3-person now. All right. For few, well, don't leave. Like, don't keep the camera there, because I gotta keep the 3 set up. Yeah, I don't know. I at least I hope when it comes down to it, in the end, I at least hope all 3 of these guys at least get a shot at MJF, because you're building these guys so 100%. Much. You're building these guys so much to ultimately get to a random tournament to begin with. I know we have a month away from the pay-per-view, so I mean, I get it from that kind of aspect, but we were all thinking it was going to be a fatal 4-way. And then we just get this random 3-person tournament tonight. At least let all of these 3 guys get in there with MJF at some point.
I definitely think that's where they're going. Because obviously, I mean, let's be honest. None of them. It doesn't matter which one of them is going to face MJF out of this tournament. They're not going to win.
Yeah,
right.
No, not. I don't feel like any of these people are going to win, regardless.
Right. But that's just it, though. We don't have to feel like they're going to win, because this was MJF getting out of having to do the 4-way, right?
Yes.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets forced into doing that 4-way at the next, like either at the next pay-per-view, or if he doesn't do the winner of this tournament gets him at Double or Nothing, and then let's see. So we have double. Well, their pay-per-view schedule is so weird because we have Double or Nothing, and then we have All In's scheduled next. Would be the next schedule.
All in technically. Yeah. Well, when's Forbidden Door?
Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door.
Oh yeah, Forbidden. Okay.
It's Forbidden Door, All In, and then All Out like 2 weeks after All In. It's weird. Like, it's a weird pay-per-view schedule this time around.
Well, and I think I noticed that SRS had mentioned something that there's a possibility that we may end up getting a All In, All Out package deal type of thing.
I personally would have pushed All Out back a few months, if anything, because doing the pay-per-view in 2 weeks after All In London, that's just not a good pay-per-view model. And besides, I don't want AEW to turn into the WWE route where we have a pay-per-view every month. I don't want that. Because the whole quarterly special with them, that's what made them so special.
Yeah. Well, and I think, so from what I think it's lending to the whole idea that there may be a deal coming up with, what is it now? It's now called Max Plus, HBO Max.
HBO Max, yeah.
Whatever it ended up being called going forward. Well, they're apparently changing the name to it for some reason. I think it's the Discovery thing. But anyways, there's supposedly a thing coming up with that might happen. That might be getting announced soon. So I think they may end up doing a straight, like a package deal to get people to subscribe to HBO Max. Like, if AEW is going to be on there, they're going to say, hey, you subscribe to HBO Max, you're going to get All In and All Out.
Yeah.
As part of your subscription. So I think that might be what they're doing.
I hope so, man. I'd be fine with that. I already have HBO Max, so I'm fine.
I mean, same.
I already have HBO Max.
But they're gonna be HBO Max for long.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The pay-per-view schedule is kind of getting a little wonky now, but we'll get through it.
But the reason I was saying that is because I think I kind of wish there was one more event or like pay-per-view before All In, which I'm sure there probably will be like some TV special before then. But if you can have it to where you get whoever wins the tournament gets MJF at Double or Nothing, then whoever lost in that final round match gets him at Forbidden Door. Then third person gets him before All In, so that the announcement for All In London is we finally get the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
And he can't get out of it.
Because, like, at this point in time, when you were building all those three guys up to make a Fatal 4-Way type of announcement, and then all of a sudden do this 3-person tournament, it kind of defeats the purpose of what everybody was kind of getting their hopes up for. But then again, that is what it is. The fans getting their hopes up, and then we got the tournament today. So,
well, and also it's that thing of MJF being able to tell the fans to suck it on Twitter because they're not getting the Fatal 4-Way that they wanted, and that's what he did. That he did it just so he could do that. But we have when is the obviously we haven't got an actual announcement for it, but what was the rumored date for Collision again?
AEW Collision. June 17th.
June 17th.
June 17th. Yeah. Okay. Because I'm wondering. I mean, obviously it's a bit of a stretch, but I'm honestly wondering if we don't get because I noticed they're starting to advertise special Saturday night rampages. I'm starting to think we might be getting rid of Rampage and just making that, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, we're already doing live Saturday night shows to kind of get an idea of what Vision's going to be like, and then they're just going to switch, right? But in the process, I'm wondering if, and this is why I was kind of upset earlier today about like everybody still like people still like making the whole joke about, oh, well, they're only doing the brands according to the rumors, they're only splitting the brands because there's people that don't want to work with Punk. I'm thinking they were already gonna split the brands. The Punk thing just kind of fell where it fell. But I'm wondering if we don't get. I'm wondering if we don't finally get some on-screen authority figures now that we have two brands.
They should have did the brand split with Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. There's probably going to be a good bit of Ring of Honor talent on Collision.
Yeah,
because it's an easy place to put them. If you're gonna do 2 full shows, but I honestly, I think there's. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get, you know, like speaking of Ring of Honor, a Nigel McGuinness as like an authority figure, whether it's on Collision or Dynamite, you know, one of the two. And that's how we get to leading into All In London. Someone forcibly saying, "Hey, MJF, I'm in charge, and you can't weasel your way out of this one." You know, because I think that's honestly, like, as great as MJF is, I think that's the only thing that's missing right now. Is there's no authority figure to put him in his place yet.
I can see that.
So,
yeah,
like he's just kind of been able to just run around and do what he wants. So.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But it
all depends on what happens from here on out. But honestly, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens here. I'm excited to see who actually comes out on top of all of this, and then we finally get to the match because it's going to be a great match regardless. Whoever wins this goddamn thing, it's going to be a great thing anyway. So it's going to be Sammy Guevara, who won the main event tonight, taking on Darby Allin, and the winner of that faces MJF at the pay-per-view. So I'm down for that either way. I personally, with everything going on, with them being buddy, it kind of only makes sense to have Sammy Guevara. To me, anyway. Get this shot right now, because MJF is MJF, and he is going to do what he does, and most likely turn when they least expect it, or when they least expect it. And there we go. We have the freaking match, but I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
I missed the majority of the show. Kind of those like these Komander and Jericho stuff. I heard Wardlow got title again, and I said on the TNT title again.
What? Oh, you mean the 24/7 title? Oh, you mean the 24/7? Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? This title has no freaking identity. It has no identity. It has no prestige. To me, I look at the International Championship now as the second most important title for the men's singles division and not the TNT title, because the TNT title and TV championships in 2023 just don't work. Dude, when Powerhouse Hobbs only has a 40-day reign as champion, it's disgusting the way that they have done this championship over the last few months. It's terrible.
I can see where you're coming from.
3-day reign for Wardlow. 3-day reign for Wardlow. That is disgusting, bro. Why?
Yes. However, again, I mean, it's one of those things of the TNT title, like you were just saying, it's very much a television title. It's meant to be defended at all times on TV.
I don't mind it being defended,
right?
But I want
which means
an actual meaningful story, or when a championship is crowned next, make it make sense.
Yes, except for there's also the fact that, like, with this one, it's very much a thing of unpredictability in a little. Obviously, going back and forth between the same couple of people isn't that predictable, so it's not really working the way that they want it to. But I think the intent there is the idea of being able to say, you know, I mean, there's that, but it's the idea of being able to say they want you to tune in to see a TNT title match because you don't know that the champion's going to retain. You know what I mean? A lot of champions that get defended on TV. 90% of the time, you go into it. If a title is defended on TV, it doesn't change hands, right? That's what we've been conditioned to believe for the last couple of decades because of WWE. 90% of the time, if any title is defended on television, it's not going to change hands. So they're setting up this precedent that the TNT title could change hands at any time. Obviously,
and I get that.
I agree that they're not doing a great job of it, but you know,
the hot potato in the show.
I think that's what they're going for.
They don't have a hot potato for them.
I want championships to mean something. That's what I want.
Historically, see, and that's the thing. Historically, I've watched several promotions where they've had a television title that changed hands like this, but it meant more because the people it was changing hands to. You know what I mean? It wasn't so much.
These guys are great
because
talent.
long title reigns don't matter.
These guys are great talents. I'm not saying anything about that. The fact of the matter is, when you only have these championship reigns going for 30 days, 40 days, 3 days, 14 days, like, dude, I understand you're saying, like, oh yeah, like, this championship can change hands at any given time. You have to watch Dynamite in order to make sure that you see what happens next. I'm gonna watch Dynamite regardless. I'm fine. So the fact that you're trying to actually make me do this just to do it.
You are. Yes, but they're not targeting you.
I know.
You said you're already watching. They're trying to target other people. But also, you also have to remember how plugged into social media Toni is, as opposed to other bookers and promotion runners. Because here's the thing. What is everyone constantly complaining about right now as far as title reigns go? It's the fact that Roman Reigns is about to hit 1,000 days and Gunther is about to end Honky Tonk streak, right? And everyone's, especially the Roman one, everybody's sick and tired of seeing Roman hold the same belts for 3 years without any sort of possibility, like to the point where it's predictable. So as Toni, if he's sitting there watching people complain about that, he's gonna say, "Well, I'm not gonna do that with my main title because I want to give MJF a significant run." But Wardlow, I mean, like, Hobbs doesn't lose anything by dropping that belt. You know what I mean? Because if he had dropped it to somebody smaller, like if somebody less than Wardlow, like if he had dropped it to a QT or somebody like that, yes, 100%. Fuck it, he's done. He lost it to Wardlow. Him and Wardlow, pound for pound, are almost identical. You know what I mean? So you could literally have this whole story where they literally beat each other back-to-back weeks. Like Wardlow won tonight. The next time they fight, it's literally a toss-up because they're matched strength for strength. See what I'm saying?
Well, here's
within the confines of Wardlow and Hobbs, they match each other strength for strength. So it's literally a toss-up of who's actually going to come out on top anytime they fight.
I understand that, but at the end of I get where you're coming from, but man, I just don't need the constant changing. I just don't need the constant changing. That just might be a me thing, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We're just gonna have to live with the constant changing of things. I knew as soon as he brought Arn Anderson into the fold, I'm like, oh yeah, of course he's winning now. I mean, not only because he's in his hometown, but now Arn Anderson is going to be aligned with him. I'm like, oh, of course he is. But I actually do like that pairing. For whatever it's worth, I actually like that pairing. I hope that actually does give him some sort of sense of direction, but at the end of the day, I'm fine with that pairing for right now.
And it's also a thing of it's also.
I don't mind the long title. Like you had brought up Roman Reigns. I don't mind the long title. But I also don't want to see the title stripped up every 2 weeks. Like at least get each character, at least 3 to 4 months. Give them something meaningful. We've seen this title change 4 times in 3 months. 4 times in 3 months.
Right. However, my thinking on that, this is where I'm literally digging into old school mentalities of things. You can't have one champ, like you can't just have a champ that's holding each of the titles, just hold them forever. You know what I mean? Like you can't do long title reigns for every single champion because the shit gets boring. Somebody eventually has to lose, right?
Yes, but you don't only have to use it for a month.
Sometimes that's what happens.
A month title reign
that's the unpredictability of it, though. That's the unpredictability of it, because most of the time, that's just it. Look, you're already in that mindset. You already expect titles should a title reign should last more than a month, and now it's not. They're changing the way. They're trying to change the way that you, the fan, thinks about wrestling because you've been conditioned to think about it one way for this pretty much your entire life. So, I mean,
but that the hot potato one though, it kind of devalues the championship in a way.
Yes, but also the thing is, they're not hot potatoing it to everybody. It's not like the 24/7 title where it's just a bunch of people running after them, and it could just be some goof in the locker room who suddenly has the TNT title. The people who are handing it back and forth legitimately can match each other strength for strength. You know what I'm saying? So it's so evenly matched within that title division that anybody could win it at any time. It's just a matter of who has that much more of the upper hand, which makes that more exciting to watch. They used to do the same thing with the X division. The X division changed constantly because there were so many people that were on that high level that they were expecting the X division to be at 24/7 any day of the week, that you could see like an AJ Styles and a Christopher Daniels go back to forth on matches, and they could literally beat each other. One of them could beat the other one week, and then the other one beat the other one the next week. Now, it would be helpful if it wasn't all like if they would do some non-title matches with them as champion. Sure, it would probably help, at least from the mindset that you guys have. But I mean, for me, I've seen this happen so many times now in like older promotions that it doesn't bother me. It just doesn't. So
it's irritating the fuck out of me, as you can see. But
I know it is, and I'm just want to preface this by saying I'm not sitting here trying to change your mind.
No,
fully
no,
entitled
yeah,
to your
no,
opinion.
and
I'm not trying to. I'm not
trying to just
trying to talk you out. Right.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to.
I'm not here
I'm
trying
not
to
trying to keep
change your
bitching it.
ways because I mean, obviously,
Right.
like, here's the thing. That's why I love this show because you like.
Also, this is what it was. This was the conversation. I remember now. This was the exact conversation we had that made me almost block you on TikTok.
Oh, really? This is it? Oh, okay.
But it was because we just kept butting heads, and it was also through just through comments. So it was like it's like fuck it. We're just gonna have to agree to disagree and go our separate ways for a little bit.
All right. So. Well, now I really understand because yeah. Well, here's the thing though. Like, this is why I actually like the show, and this is why I actually like now knowing each other the way we do. Now we understand like actual like our tendencies and where we're actually coming from with this. I come from a very different freaking era. Okay.
Right.
You say it all the time, and I'm not. These are your words. You say you're old all the time on this show, so it like so you've seen this a lot other times and a lot in a different like in different promotions and different standings, and you see how this works. This to me, it devalues the championship to me, but it also like in times and certain times it devalues the people that hold it because at that point in time you're just not giving them credibility when you have only like this month and a half reign or whatever. That's just me, and I get that.
Right.
And sometimes I get the flack for that, and honestly, I don't mind getting the flack for that because
I'm not gonna give you flack
it is.
For it. I'm just gonna because like, and that's the thing with adding like with it taking credibility away from the person. The only reason I disagree on that is because credibility for a wrestler shouldn't only come from the title that they hold and how long they hold.
I'll agree with you there.
The credibility should come from their work ethic, the body of work
that they put in. Yeah.
Which is that's again part of where my mentality comes from because I'm the type of person, I wasn't alive for it, but I definitely went back and watched like 86 Jim Crockett Promotions, that era of wrestling. And a lot of the times it was, there were certain titles that could change hands very often, but most of them didn't. Most of them, it was constant, just like you knew, unless you were about to watch a pay-per-view special, nothing was changing. The winner, the champions were still going to be the champions, no matter. It didn't matter what their opponent said. It didn't matter what happened. Like you could watch Ric Flair as the world heavyweight champion. Like he could break his leg, and you would still be like, "Well, he's still going to win." Like you had no like because it's a TV taping. It's not a big event. They wanted to keep things going. But that's also because they had to sell up to the pay-per-view. Like they had to get people to buy pay-per-view in order to make money. Now it's not as AEW kind of still needs to sell pay-per-views, but at the same time, I think they've kind of realized that in this era, I think yes, because they don't have like a network where you can just pay so much a month and just get all of it. But I think it's very much a thing of now in this age, they just kind of have realized that a lot of people are going to, go to other sites and the stream and find a stream of it for free. So people are still going to watch it either way, which I think that's honestly when everybody always wants to talk about numbers. That's the other reason why I stopped caring about numbers that shows do, because I don't even watch Dynamite on cable. So my watching it doesn't count. I don't have cable here at my house. I have to watch it on a different streaming service, which coincidentally gets me the Fight TV stream, but it doesn't count because I'm technically watching it illegally. So that's why, honestly, I'd be willing to bet you could at least double the number, the rate, the viewerships. Hell, even for WWE, you could probably add a couple extra 100 onto the end of their ratings
if it wasn't for the streamings and everything like that, AEW would be doing millions, like on most, if not all, the weeks during at least the months, like over the last few months.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's because of these streamings. But yeah, man, different mentalities, different eras. I totally get it. But you know, it is what it is, and we're definitely gonna have to figure things out as we head towards along. Regardless, though, Wardlow is another TNT champion. He is now aligned with Arn Anderson. We'll see if that partnership continues to grow. I honestly hope it does, because I actually like Arn Anderson as like an on-screen character, at least in a managerial role in this type of way. So honestly, I'm fine with it. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
I like Arn. I like Arn being a part of the show. So.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So.
Well, and it actually kind of makes sense given the promo, because like Arn was saying, Wardlow was part of the whole Pinnacle thing, which was led by Tully Blanchard and MJF.
Yes.
So it makes sense that he would go from one horseman to the next. So.
He's like Tully's
and he'd be aligned. He's now aligned himself. I was gonna say he's aligned himself with the better horseman anyway. At this.
Yeah, when I was looking over the horseman's career and everything like that, I definitely leaned towards Arn a little bit more than Tully. But hey, you know, Tully Cheryl, and why you got to tell me, man, because I gotta. These okay. From now on, like, I need like locks on this show. Like, I need you to say I am going to be.
I had intended to come in. I had intended to come in. I was waiting for the link to come in, but I forgot.
No,
I forgot that I don't have.
I accidentally.
I have the chats mute.
I accidentally had clicked the X button.
I forgot that I have chats mute. So yeah. Yeah,
I need locks on the show because it's constant of changing the layout and everything like that. It's so freaking like it irritates me because I'm a goddamn perfectionist when it comes to this show, and I want things perfect. But nah, it'll never be perfect. Plus, considering OTP and the way we've gone for over 300 episodes now at 353, it's never gonna be normal.
I guarantee you, there's
on the
never
show
gonna be an episode that's perfect.
There's never a normal show, but honestly, you know, I think that's kind of what makes this show work. So, if you like it, thank you. If don't, go fuck yourself. We love you anyway. But yeah, guys, we're gonna talk about all things Dynamite tonight. Yeah, this is 43 minutes, and we haven't even really got anything because Weaver and I kind of, went on a different tangent when it comes to different tendencies when it comes to TV championships. Do they work? Do they not work? They don't fucking work in 2023. Get them the fuck out of here. But we'll see.
Somehow I haven't been on any of the debates yet.
Dude, you'd be fine in those. Like, you should replace me. I'm a blithering idiot when I go on those debates. I freeze up. I'm like, what was I gonna say?
I can confirm. I've seen those debates. I can confirm.
Hey,
look at the last debate they did.
All right, guys, let's talk about this show. Kicking things off, we had basically everybody of the three out of the four pillars in the ring. We saw Jungle Boy make his entrance. As soon as he was about to speak, Sammy Guevara came out, and then as soon as Sammy was about to speak, Jungle Boy Darby came out, and I thought as soon as Darby was about to speak, MJF was about to come out, but he didn't come out until later. So there we go. So he ends up kicking off the entire promo by saying that he's known Sammy for the longest out of the 3 of 4 pillars, and he's actually intending to like him the most. But Sammy is the least qualified person out of the 3 that are in this ring to compete for the AEW World Championship. Sammy is seen as a follower, whereas Perry and Darby are much more equals. Darby says Jericho back. He has a problem with that. He and Jericho can come take it up with Darby and stay. He then addressed who in Darby's mind was handpicked to be here all along from being a part of the Southern California clique. Darby was jealous of Jack at first, given his own situation, but then jealousy went away because nothing about Perry intimidated him once they met face to face. Nothing. Jungle Boy then stepped up, talking about the face paint and how he sees the kids wearing that same face paint, and then he was thinking to himself, if only they knew what Darby is really like. Jungle Boy then calls Darby out on his career to this point, saying that Darby only came to pro wrestling because he could not make it as a skateboarder. Perry then turned his attention to Sammy, saying that he respects him the most, but because of that, before really going into Sammy, he's letting him know how he really feels, saying that Sammy finally speaks up now, saying that Perry may hate MJF so much, but in fact, he is exactly like MJF. He talks about the first episode of Dynamite where Darby wasn't even in attendance, and Sammy was sitting in the seats where Bret Hart was in the ring with Jungle Boy. Sammy says that he and Darby are two sides of the same coin, and that he respects Darby for what he is going to do because those two are the ones that are going to get the job done no matter what. And he was the first pillar to earn a championship in AEW. He watched Darby win the TNT Championship and said, I am going to do it better by winning it 3 times. Then there is a never-ending competition between Darby and Sammy Guevara, but now it's Darby's turn to sit back and watch Sammy become the AEW World Champion. Jungle Boy then pokes in and says, you're kind of wrong for saying that because I'm going to win this AEW World Championship and do it for the people that have been supporting me since day one. The other pillars are tired, are tied up in the rankings, so he can. So he talked about notable best friend, Tony Khan, and there is a pillars tournament now, saying that MJF. One will have a bye in the first round, and MJF pulls a name out of the hat, revealing to be Darby Allin. In round 1, it'll be Sammy Guevara taking on Jack Perry, and the winner of that will face Darby Allin in round 2, and that match will happen tonight. So he calls for his music to play to leave us, and we go to our first commercial break. That's how we got this whole 4-pillar tournament announcement thing. A hat drawing got the first bye for the third person out of all of this. Say it is what it is. A tournament with 3 people, kind of unorthodox, but regardless, we're getting this thing, and
I missed the majority of this episode, so y'all have to catch me up. I saw bits and pieces. I saw the Jay White match. That was
I definitely. A 3-man tournament is 100% an MJF thing to do, but also it also works so well just because the biggest complaint about MJF and like the whole idea of him being one-dimensional, because it's like, oh, MJF has a new competitor. What's he gonna do? He's gonna make them go through all of his goons in order to get to him. They have to go through all of his trials. Like, well,
yeah.
not what we're doing now. This time, he was like,
"That's not the story we're doing now."
A 3-man tournament.
That's not the story we're doing now.
This is what they get for complaining about it. Now that you've complained about it, we get some stupid ass 3-man tournament.
They could have easily just did a triple threat. They could have easily did a triple threat.
I mean, yes, but we still have
we gotta fill a month of television, brother.
Yeah,
we gotta fill a month of television.
I mean, it's still gonna end up being a fatal 4-way match regardless. So, like, I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I don't think it will be a double or nothing.
I don't think
double or nothing will get that 4-way. I think they're gonna push the 4-way a little bit farther.
Well, that's stupid.
We might.
I would say at least all in.
We either get the 4-way at All In or All Out. It's gonna be on one of the alls.
All In needs to be main evented by either CM Punk and Kenny Omega or the CM FTR and SDL. That's it.
No, it'll be 100. Like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna get main evented by the title, more than likely. Because I don't see MJF. I just don't see, because it's just one of those things of.
Well, I'm pretty sure Punk is not going to be left off that show.
Well, yeah, no, of course not. Of course not. I don't think that. But I definitely. I feel like the All In
will be on that show. Like, it's happening.
Yeah.
Like, that's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
But also, I mean, I feel
either way.
I feel like the big like. I feel like the announcement of telling MJF that he has no choice at All In, but to go all in a fatal 4-way, like the promo basically writes itself. So
I had to take my keys out of my back pocket because I was afraid I was going to sit on my alarm button. And I didn't want the alarm to go off and wake up the entire fucking neighborhood. So sorry, guys, if that felt a little awkward.
Yeah.
But
God damn it, whose car is that? Whose car is that? I'm trying to sleep.
And dude, I have some asshole neighbors. So they would be like that. They'd be pounding on my door, like, "All right, go to bed, you little asshole." But regardless,
the world hates you, man. The world hates you.
Listen, I don't give a shit. You know, if they're gonna be assholes to me, I'm gonna be assholes to them. But
there you
go. I know how you feel though. I used to have my old house. I used to have like these asshole neighbors. They were mainly racist, but they were still assholes at the same time.
Oh, nice. Good. But a very unorthodox tournament with only 3 people, but at the end of the day, we're most likely going to get all 3 of these guys in the ring with MJF, and it's going to be great either way. Because whether you like MJF or whether you don't, or whether you think he's one-dimensional or don't, honestly, I don't buy that one-dimensional argument by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. But regardless, whoever is in the ring with MJF elevates them, and they elevate MJF to the finest. And they prove that. MJF proved that when he had his match with Bryan Danielson for that 60-minute Iron Man match. I'm telling you right now, man, that should have proved a lot of haters wrong when it comes to MJF.
Yeah, well,
the problem is, MJF has this special ability. He has this special ability where he can go in, have an amazing, like, barn burner of a match, right? And everybody's like, "Oh my god, MJF can do this? Wow, holy shit. I didn't know he could wrestle like that. I didn't know he could do those moves." And then he goes to Dynamite until the next special or the next pay-per-view when he has to defend the title again. And he's doing, like, he'll do, like, rest holds, a bunch of heel shit, and win matches with, you know, a headlock takeover and shit, you know. And everybody's like, "Oh," he does it just enough that people forget what he did.
I don't understand why people were so mad at that. That was so great. That was amazing.
I know. But the idea of he'll do this stuff so that people legitimately will forget. They will forget what he did at the last pay-per-view until he gets in the ring again, and suddenly he's got them again. It's this weird ability that he has to like. Just, if you're not watching MJF wrestle, you forget that MJF can wrestle. Who's that?
You know who else has that ability? The Miz. Look at that match on Monday.
Yeah.
Well, the one problem I had about that is that Miz was being treated like a complete freaking joke over the last couple of months, losing to Snoop Dogg at WrestleMania, and was most likely going to lose to Shane McMahon before he tore both his quads.
And then you have a match.
Seth,
though.
The Miz has been treated like a joke for the last 6 years.
Seth has not been treated like a joke.
He's been he has. He's been treated like a joke for like the last 3 or 4 years.
Seth has been on a losing streak outside, like up until this last match at WrestleMania. He was on a losing streak.
No, he
lost to Cody multiple times. Yes,
that to me doesn't.
But he also lost a shit ton of ton of matches, and like it was to the point where they were like this close. And then also the fact that like some of the stuff they had where it was just like if he had been losing every time, some of that gear just kind of laughable in a sense. But
I think he picks those out just for the fun of it. I think he picks those outfits out.
I know he does. He does.
Because he knows it's outlandish as hell.
Oh, he has to know they're outlandish, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Miz is good when he wants to be good. I'm not saying that at all. Like
Miz has always been good.
He's fantastic. Just the way that they've been treating him over the last few months, it's just like, yeah. Then all of a sudden you have a banger with the Miz. It's like, oh my god, you forget about that stuff. But
he's been a joke for the last few years.
Yeah, but after all that,
I mean, you can only do so much when you have to wrestle zombies.
Very true.
I forgot about that.
I try to forget about that every time, and then somebody brings it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, that did fucking happen. Yeah.
I mean, if you've been keeping up with Wrestle Talks podcast, they're doing the worst match ever series. That was one of them. They're trying to find the worst match ever, but also the best worst match ever.
Poor Damian Priest. He had to deal with the zombies.
That was terrible. Oh my god. Oh, that's gonna give me a headache now just thinking about that. But
it's such a good series.
It's a great series. It's a great series. I love those guys. But yeah. So we're back from a commercial break as we see a quick rundown of this Pillars tournament. Winner of Jungle Boy and Sammy Guevara faces Darby next week. And then we hit to ringside where we get this this tag team match for the women way before 9:30. Way before 9:30. This is the first matchup on the entire card. So great for the women tonight.
The women's match?
Yeah. So we had a tag team women's match between Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho and Toni Storm. You know, I'm not saying these matches are bad by any means, but this Outcast story, I just don't care. I need at least some sort of goddamn progression with the story.
I like what they're doing with it because it is progressive.
I like all of it, but I like it. I just want progression.
It's a slow burn. It's just a slow burn. It's getting there.
It's just some of the shit don't really make much sense. Like, if you're losing the match, why are you spray painting L's on them if they won the match? And you're like, huh?
I mean, NWO spray painted people when they lost matches too.
Well, they're the NWO.
They're the NWO.
So
I've been making a comparison to the NWO since they.
Well, I mean, it's a combination. It's a combination of NWO, DX, and like fucking several other of these different factions that have done the same thing. Yes, it's been done before, but it also hasn't been done by women. This is the first it's ever been done by women, and now it's bad.
If they put,
I don't think it's bad, but that's what everyone says. It's like, because they're doing it.
I don't think it's bad either. I just want a little bit more progression when it comes to this. That's all. Like, I'm fine with the slow burn. I am. I'm fine with slow burns. I like long-term storytelling more than... Dude, long-term storytelling is great. But at the end of the day, when you have these three, and the fact that they made this stable, and the reasons why they made the stable is fine. Toni Storm felt disrespected. When Ruby Soho came into the play, she felt disrespected too. And then all of a sudden, Saraya turned heel randomly, regardless.
That's what made me hate it.
Wasn't that
the
randomly.
random ass heel turn. The random ass heel.
It felt, it felt really random.
It really wasn't that random. It wasn't that random if you were paying attention, because there were slight little things that she would do in some of these interviews, like leading up to that whole when like her and Hikaru Shida were gonna team against Britt and Hayter and Jamie, and like she thought she was gonna ask Shida, and then like she ended up going with Toni and all that shit. Like all those interviews leading up to that, there were just tiny little things that she would do, that she would say, or like the way she would say it, and it's like, oh, I don't like that.
Of course there were little tiny things to make the stable. I mean, of course, right? You gotta do those little subtleties.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the heel turn it wasn't just out of nowhere. They were telling you. They were telling you it was coming. In fact, I'm pretty sure I even called it in one of when I was in Johnny and Marissa and Erica's Twitch stream during an episode of Dynamite, and I was like, watch, Saraya's gonna fucking turn on these motherfuckers.
It's just the thing
It
just happened out of nowhere. Like it just happened out of nowhere. Like, and it was, in my opinion, it was random because
I like the Outcasts. I like the parent.
They're growing on me.
Just want a little bit more about it.
What?
Well, I mean, they've only
it took a little bit, but it got there.
Okay, well,
I'm cool with it.
Let me ask you this: how long have they been an actual stable?
Like I don't know, like 2-3 months.
Well, I mean, I think since Saraya won her first match on pay-per-view, right?
No, it hadn't been that long.
It's been a couple months. At least.
Well, one match on pay-per-view, and then became a thing.
I mean, like her and Toni, yes, but I'm talking about the fully fledged faction, name everything.
Oh, when
that's only been they've only been Outcasts for like what, a couple weeks, maybe a month.
I like the addition of Ruby Soho. It was the tag team of Toni and Saraya that really wasn't clicking. In my opinion, at least.
I'm so
fucking and confused. That's why they had Toni and Ruby as the tag team, and Saraya is a ring.
I'm so freaking confused.
Let's see if
Where do you start? Wasn't there a triple threat between like Ruby, Jamie, and whatever for the championship, and then when Ruby lost or whatever, she turned on all of them?
Yep.
And that's when the stable began?
Yep, that was I think it was a Revolution. No, it wasn't. Wait, was it?
That had to have been Revolution. Yeah.
I'm so confused.
They've been together. Like, they formed at Revolution when Soho lost that thing, but they weren't known as the Outcasts then.
Okay, so
it wasn't Revolution because Saraya had a match with Toni. Was in that match.
The Outcasts came out like maybe a month ago.
Well, hold on. Because Revolution was in March.
Because Saraya had a match with Jamie Hayter.
Right.
And it was Saraya. And
Revolution was March 5th. So we're just over a month removed. So they've only been a faction for a little over a month. Right? So they haven't really had... And if you take that, So Revolution, let's see. Let me count it out. Revolution was on the 5th. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Including tonight, you had 7 episodes of Dynamite that they have been a faction. And they have added things each time.
Fucking thing.
So I'd say that considering it's only been 7 weeks since they formed, I'd say they're on a decent enough progression to where we're gonna get more. You know what I mean? I can understand why it would feel like we haven't gotten anything, but they've been building a lot of it. Because I mean, I've watched a couple, but that honestly tonight was the first time I even noticed that they had like an actual like faction Tron entrance graphic. Like, because the first couple of times I watched them come out on TV, they just came out to Soraya's entrance graphic and zombified.
Yeah, the music and graphic, yeah.
Right.
I think they've had it for. I could have sworn I saw the Outcast thing last week, but maybe I'm just tripping. I don't know. It
could have been. That's what I'm saying. It could have been last week
for a while. Yeah. It's been a thing for a while.
Well, I mean, it could only have been for the last couple of weeks because they've, like I said, they've only been together 7 weeks.
Yeah, they've been had.
So I know for a fact a couple of there were at least a couple episodes of Dynamite after Revolution where they just came out to Soraya's entrance music.
Because we didn't really know what they were about yet.
Right.
We didn't really know what they were about yet until they did their announcements of saying
also,
like why they became a thing, and we got it
right.
wrong.
Also, the other thing you have to look at the thing that plays perfectly into this, and with the spray painting the L's, they're the mean girls, but it's NWO playing the Mean Girls. That's all it is.
Listen, I don't mind the callbacks to that. I don't. It's just other people's like, oh yeah, they're copying WWE. Well, fine. Let them hate.
Well, what doesn't copy? What isn't a copy? What isn't a copy of WWE at this point?
Pretty much everything is a copy of each other.
Here's the thing, people. Yeah. Nothing's original. Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing.
A lot of things are copycat of others,
actually,
or a lot of things
take that back.
are.
One thing is original. One thing is original.
I was
it's a title
trying
belt
to make
here
it
on my shoulder.
But well, yes, yes. But I'm just saying, in the grand logistics of everything, things are taken from other things.
Right.
Things are copies from another, and they're like, they put their own spin on them, and there you go. That's what happens in this. That's what happened in this world of pro wrestling here. Like it's. Like ladder matches, for example. There's only so much you can do for a goddamn ladder match. There's only so much you can do when it comes to that. There's only so much you can do when it comes to a tables match or whatever. Like, there are things in this company and there are things in the world of pro wrestling that you can only do so much with. So taking inspiration from things, it's not the end of the world. It's really not. And honestly, at the end of the day, people should be proud of that. Because at least you're taking things that, were... The NWO were huge. Okay? Yep. So if they wanted to do something for the women and say, all right, you're going to be something like the NWO, I'd be stoked for that. Like, if I got pitched by that,
right?
If I got, a pitched opportunity for that type of thing, I'm taking that ball and I'm running with it. 100%. I'm going all in with this. Like, all right, you give me the ball, I'll run with this.
Well, that's why
make it happen.
A lot of times when we're talking about stuff like this, like I did when we were discussing all the punk stuff and the new show on Saturdays, that was like when we're talking about Rampage being a less than show. It's like, is it bad because it's bad? Like, is it bad because of the product on it, or is it bad because you've been conditioned to think it's bad because everyone else is telling you that it's bad?
Yeah.
No, if you actually watch Rampage, it's actually not all that good.
I watch Rampage every week. I watch Rampage every week. I watch everything, and it's not as bad as everyone says it is. People just need something to complain about every week.
There's some good, and then
people need something to complain about every week, and they can't complain about Dynamite, and they sure as hell can't complain about ROH. So if they're gonna complain about one thing that AEW is doing right now, that they can at least pretend to watch, it's Rampage. Because if they complain about Dark or Dark Elevation, we know they're complete bullshit because they it's you said nobody watches that.
So people are gonna watch what they want to watch at the end of the day. That's what it is. But Storm makes a tag to Ruby before attacking Hayter on the outside, sending her into the set. As Ruby goes for a superplex on, she reversed it into a goddamn Panama Sunrise. So there you go, a little old to Adam Cole, baby. And she then hit a stomp on Soho, now dealing with Storm before going for a cover and gets a close near fall. But she's not done as she turns to Ruby over to the lockjaw, and Ruby tapped out. And the Women's World Champion Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker got the win in Pittsburgh. So the Terrible Towers were going all over the place in Pittsburgh for the win for the Dr. D.M.D. Good opening match, honestly, overall. The match is honestly very solid, and at the end of the day, we're continuing to only get things rolling when it comes to this Outsiders AEW original story. Let's continue going through.
I gotta go back and rewatch that match because I didn't actually watch that.
So we head backstage and we see Wardlow talking about how the Horseman was once brought out to even the odds before bringing in another Horseman to even up the odds for tonight, and out comes Arn Anderson. Arn talks about what was done to Wardlow recently and what he should plan on doing in retaliation by winning the TNT Championship. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I like the Arn Anderson Wardlow pairing. I actually hope this sticks around, and we'll see where things go from there.
Yep. I mean,
so we're back at.
Cool.
Go ahead.
I think it's cool.
Is that the answer?
I don't think it's cool. Yeah.
It's a new pairing. People are gonna probably have to get used to it.
I wonder if he's gonna tell Wardlow to get the Glock though, like he told Cody.
Nah.
Oh, he got the Glock tonight. I don't know if you saw it, but he got the Glock tonight. That was a great pop. It was a great pop.
Well, I mean, it also makes total sense having him with Wardlow though, because like one, because of the Pinnacle stuff, but also look at what Arn did for Cody, despite the
and Cody brought Wardlow in.
Right, but also like I think Wardlow is smart enough and young enough to listen to Arn. You know, I don't think we don't have to worry about Wardlow pulling a Cody and being like, well, if I lose my title shot, I'm never going to challenge for that title again.
Yeah.
And Arn being like,
that
no,
was
that's
stupid by Cody to begin with. That was stupid by Cody to begin with. I was watching at home. Man,
and I think there was definitely I definitely think there was something else that was supposed to happen there with that we just I don't know if it was the 2020 like all the COVID stuff taking away the fans or what it was, but I 100% think he was going to pull a page out of his dad's booking playbook and have this whole thing where he lost the title match, so he can't challenge for the title again. But they also, they were also doing all that stuff with him and Fuego Fuego 2 on Dark, right? Where it was Too Fast, Too Fuego. Yeah, yes. I wouldn't have been surprised if the champion at the time suddenly was put, like, if we didn't get some sort of announcement that there was like a big a tournament or a battle royal or something, right? On Dynamite, and then it ends up being won by Fuego 2, who is very clearly 100% Cody.
I mean,
in a mask,
you could tell,
right? Right. I mean, the neck tattoo alone gives it away. But it's that thing of it's Cody, but he's wearing a mask. His name is Fuego 2, so he technically as Fuego 2 or Fuego Dos could in fact challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
They've done that. Like, his dad was notorious for doing that in the 80s.
Yeah.
As a member, like, they did it, him and I want to say it was Magnum TA. I have to go back and look at it, but they did a tag team called the James Gang, where it was 100%, like, there was no way of denying that it was Dusty, specifically because of his voice. Like, the only thing he did different with his voice was he, which there's this thing that most people still to this day don't know about him. But, like, the lisp was real, but that, like, higher kind of almost upper register tone that he had in his voice, that wasn't real. That was played up. His voice was a lot deeper than that. When he just spoke normal, and the lisp was real, but it wasn't that exaggerated as it was on TV. But, like, it's one of those things of, like, that, and, like, just the words he would use. It's like, oh yeah, that's definitely Dusty. But he's in a mask and a cowboy hat and fucking gloves and shit. And he was like, the Masked Outlaw Jesse James or some shit like that. Literally, he was.
Yeah.
You had Jesse James and another one, but they called themselves James Gang, and they weaseled their way into a tag team title shot that way. And got away with it. So
yeah. That's wild.
It definitely works better as a heel. It works better as a heel tactic, which I think was where they would have gone with it. But for whatever reason, they didn't pull the trigger on it.
So we're back at ringside, and we see the Elite. They are coming to the ring to address the recent actions of the Blackpool Combat Club. Omega talks about what they've done to his friends and his uncle, and what he wishes that he could do to Jon Moxley as revenge for what he did. The purpose of being out here tonight is an invitation. They want to talk about they want to see the BCC out here tonight in the ring, only for Bryan Danielson to speak on the big Titantron, taunting the Elite for coming out to have nothing much to say. This turns into a whole ruse as the BCC blindsides the Elite from behind, leading to a brawl between the groups. Each side takes control of the situation as the fight goes on until BCC gets the upper hand on the Elite, just for Bryan to come out, calling the Elite amateurs before Don Callis snuck away, and out came Konosuke Takeshita, which is perfect. Perfect. I absolutely loved everything about that, because Don Callis has been he's been trying to recruit Takeshita, and this just made perfect sense to do it.
Well, there goes your blood and guts match.
Yes. And
which I think
perfect.
I may have kind of seen something that, just watching that whole segment take place, if this is blood and guts,
it has to be.
I would not be surprised. If we get to that blood and guts match, and we end up with not just one heel turn, but technically two. Even though I don't know that he ever turned from being a heel in the first place. But I'm almost certain that Don Callis is behind this new attitude of the BCC now.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm pretty sure he even said it, like him bringing Takeshita out there too. And if you noticed, Takeshita got physical. He cleared the ring, but there were certain things that he did. Like he was very much like hands off with certain people.
Oh yeah,
mostly like with like he didn't touch Danielson almost at all. You know what I mean? So like, I wouldn't be surprised if Takeshita doesn't turn at Blood and Guts and side with and align himself with BCC and also Don Callis. And I think it's because like his reasoning behind it will be, well, I tried to get Kenny back to that best mount machine Kenny that he was. I tried to get you to ditch all these guys. I tried to kill them and take them out of your life, and you still wouldn't let it go. So now I've got to get rid of you too. So
love it.
Totally can understand this, man.
Yeah. I love it, man.
I thought Don Callis was already signed.
So Takeshita comes out. Yeah. So Takeshita comes out. He basically clears the ring. And yeah, man, he's standing tall with the Elite. This is great. We're totally leaning towards Blood and Guts when it comes to this. I don't see it, going any other way when it comes to this. But yeah, man, this is gonna be great. I absolutely love it. Blood and Guts every year so far for AEW has been nothing but a success for me. I've loved every single one of them. They continue to up the ante every single time. And when it comes to the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite, dude,
yep,
match of your candidate, dude.
Yeah, I think we're definitely getting BCC and the Elite in Blood and Guts, and I think this formation of, or this alignment of JAS and Outcast is going to give us them, and it's going to lead to, that's going to be our Stadium Stampede / Anarchy in the Arena, whichever one we get this year.
I think it should still be Anarchy in the Arena because, honestly, Stadium Stampede was a pandemic era type of thing for me.
It only worked independent.
I'm not saying that like we can never go back to a Stadium Stampede because I think the Stadium Stampede actually worked really well. But Anarchy in the Arena just fit a lot more in this thing of aspects.
It's gonna be a thing. We're gonna have to see what they do with All In. See how they do with selling out Wembley, right? If they can at least match what WWE did in '92 at Wembley, then I have full confidence, and I believe that would give Tony Khan full confidence. If they wanted to do another Stadium Stampede match, do it, have the pay-per-view, or even if you did it as a special episode of Dynamite, have it at back in Jacksonville again, so it's in the exact same stadium, but this time do the entire show in the stadium.
Oh, I love a whole Jacksonville stadium.
Then you can have the live Stadium Stampede instead of, you know what I mean?
Like
because it would still be Stadium Stampede.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it would be in because that's honestly that's the only thing Stadium Stampede during COVID would have missed, like, is just having fans, which is why when they did it again, but they weren't in a stadium, called it Anarchy in the Arena.
I think having a crowd, not having a crowd is what made it work. That's what made it work, in my opinion. Not having a crowd.
Well, it allowed them. I mean, it allowed them to do a lot of cinematic stuff without having to work, because they were able to shoot it. They
were able to shoot it multiple times in order to get things right. And then
it was basically filming a movie. But they did also film some of the Anarchy in the Arena stuff. Because I think the chair thing with Sean Spears and Wardlow during Anarchy in the Arena. That whole thing was filmed well ahead of time, because they had like all like him sitting in a dark room and then like tapping the chair and like the lights come on and it's a room full of fucking chairs.
I listen to AEW Unrestricted, which is basically their podcast or whatever, like, you know, the AEW, like the after the bell type of thing, but AEW kind of thing. And there was a whole special episode with Aubrey and Toni talking about the whole Stadium Stampede thing and how they were, you know, trying to meticulously get things right in order to make sure that things worked out in their favor to actually get it presentable to be on TV and everything like that. And it was fantastic. They're talking about it all was great. So like,
I'll just say Jericho's done the same thing on his. Jericho's done, but he did a deep dive on the Stadium Stampede. He also did one for Anarchy in the Arena.
Yes.
So
it's always a great. It's a great time seeing those type of matches, because those type of matches are specifically like I said earlier, nothing's really original nowadays. Though that kind of stuff was original. That was totally original to me when it came to AEW, because I mean, we didn't see anything like that before. Like, come on. Like I saw one of the Young Bucks, I think it was Matt, jump off the goddamn goalpost and the goddamn football arena. I never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
In my freaking life. But then again, that's just a young buck being a young buck.
Yeah.
So
I think the only thing the closest thing you could really equate it to that had been done up to this point was like the Hardy Compound matches and stuff like that. But
yeah.
You know.
And we're getting it was
a hard cut like
in AEW, so that's gonna be a thing.
I mean, I'm fine with it, I guess.
I don't know how they're gonna do it compared to the TNA Hardy Compound match, but we'll see.
Well, I feel like AEW doing a compound, like doing something at the Hardy Compound, will be better. It'll be better than the TNA one. I don't know if it'll be better than, or it'll be better story-wise than the one that WWE did. But I don't know that it'll be, like, production-wise, it might not be. It'll be better than TNA, but probably not better than WWE.
Now, says that production
with,
was it Bray and Matt Hardy in that match? Hardy Compound?
Yeah, because they were a team back then. Yeah.
Yeah, the production of that was good.
Well, it's just WWE has more money. I mean,
WWE's production is always
like the whole thing of
the best when it comes to that. When it comes to quality.
Right, and that's the thing of, like, I was explaining to TJ when we were talking about shooting promos for the tournament and stuff coming up, and I was like, I feel like I've put everyone else at a disadvantage because I'm sitting over here with ring lights and a $500 camera, so of course my shit's gonna come out looking better. It better come out looking better for $500.
I just got a phone screen.
I barely have a fucking internet connection, let alone a goddamn good, like, working goddamn camera.
After next Saturday, I might even be able to get some promo shots down at Light Tree Studios in a ring.
Wow!
After our interview.
he likes it. He likes it on us, man. He's sitting there.
I can't even get a freaking internet connection in this place, and this man's going to be inside a wrestling ring. Look at this motherfucker. Look at him.
He just likes the glow.
Who the fuck he thinks he is?
He got the cool shoes that will be mine soon. He got the cool background.
A freaking green screen and everything. I got the freaking back of my bed. Look at him.
I mean, I'm not gonna take the risk of trying to take that down for a second. The joke and be like, no, I'm in a closet. But damn, I'm in my closet. But if I take, I know for a fact if I click on the settings thing, it's gonna end up freezing shit. And I don't want to do that. Because my connection's not much better. But
so, all right. So what do we have here? Yeah, we just talked about the elite stuff. We then got right into the TNT Championship match here. the match was fine. Like when it comes to Wardlow and goddamn Powerhouse Hobbs, this was great. Come on now, this is like a TNT Championship match. I mean, you're gonna get two powerhouses, the big meaty men out of the meat.
I didn't see that match, so I couldn't tell.
Which is why that's where my mentality of like that's why I'm not as upset by it, the title changing hands as you might be.
Yeah,
I have been in the past. There have been some decisions like, okay, maybe that wasn't the best decision, but like if we're gonna be doing Wardlow and Hobbs for a little while, I'm okay with them hot potatoing it because it's literally a matter of like Hobbs beat Wardlow the last time because he had help from QT, right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, like that was what gave him that little extra edge. Was he had QT in his
and Wardlow basically won because of that help of Arn Anderson, and things kind of got things going. So yeah,
get off the block,
right? So now it's just a matter of
tonight.
how are they going to continue to one up each other? And now, but also, I feel like because Arn definitely made a promise to Wardlow that in a way that by aligning with him, he was going to take him to the next level. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a switch at the next title defense and Wardlow actually holds on to it for a little bit.
See, because like here's the thing, I'm hoping with this Wardlow Arn Anderson pairing, and now with him being the TNT champion, like I'm not asking for a Roman Reigns title reign. I'm not. Like that's what I think people are trying to not understand when it comes to like me and like my meaningful title reigns or anything like that. Of course, Roman's reign is meaningful. I mean, it's over. It's going to be 1,000 days. Of course, that is. I'm not asking for that when it comes to this championship. I'm just asking for at least like maybe a 3, 4, maybe 5 month reign. That's it. Like you gotta at least build some kind of thing when it comes to this, and not just be like a 30-day, 40-day, 3-day, 14 reign type of thing to me. I understand the title, but let's build some things around it. That's all. It's a different mentality, I know, but that's what it is.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not gonna sit here and argue it because ultimately it's worth arguing over anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to get blocked by you again.
It's almost blocked. Almost. It was like I said. I'm a different person now. I don't just block people. I just let shit go.
Changed man.
It's actually hilarious that we found the reason.
I don't block people unless they say stupid, like ignorant, stupid shit. Because I have had to block some people here recently because it's like I'll literally say something, they'll respond. Their was like calling me an idiot, and I'm like, oh, I don't, no,
yeah,
or it's idiot, but in a different setting of words.
Yep,
I guess.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, that's rude. You're good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't take any shit. I don't take any shit when it comes to that, so I'm kind of the same way.
I'm not gonna sit here and take this shit, man.
I'm not gonna take this fucking shit. No, I bring out my inner Tony Khan for real. Phil Khan. There you go. But yeah, this was fine. This was perfectly fine, and especially with everything going on like near the ending towards the match and everything like that, with QT and Arn getting involved, and Pentagon coming in with Alex Abrahantes, that to me didn't like. I don't know if that happened like anywhere else, but that made no sense to me. So if that happened anywhere else,
it's because it should always be Pentagon, Phil.
Well, I love Pentagon. I love Pentagon.
Pentagon.
I love Pentagon, but that made like if that happened anywhere else, I didn't know. So like if whatever happened,
it's again one of those things of.
Pentagon. Oh, what was he out there? I didn't see that.
Yes, Deontay. Pentagon basically did a what did he do to him? What did he do to QT? That probably like a DDT or something on the ramp, and just to
I gotta go back
keep
and watch
everybody at bay.
I gotta go back and watch that.
But yeah, I get it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of an interesting way to get someone else into the mix, in a sense.
He'll probably get like a TNT title opportunity on like a Rampage or something like that, and then it'll be done.
Probably,
but because I think that's what happened with Ray Phoenix at a TNT Championship match not too long ago on a Rampage, because something happened with him and the TNT title, and then all of a sudden he got a title match on Rampage. Why? What's the purpose? I see. Fucking damn it. And now he's gonna be in here in like 2 more minutes, and I'm gonna have to switch it back again. So, see you freaking laughing at me. I know. You find this amusing. I get it. What the fuck did he say in the private?
I'm only laughing because we're gonna end up going through this on Saturday too. I guarantee you, with us having to deal with all that stuff. He definitely put in the chat that he'd be right back.
Yeah. So, okay, so we basically see a distraction happening on the apron, causing Wardlow to get dropped, and the champ only gets a near fall for this. This makes QT mad, and he gets in the ring to confront the referee, which forces Arn Anderson to stand off with him, scaring Marshall out of the ring and up the ramp, where we see Pentagon and Alex Abrahantes, basically make the save here. He gets back into the ring, and Arn Anderson does a DDT. Basically, the non-competitors here and Arn and QT clear out the ring. And we get Hobbs getting a second win along with Wardlow. Wardlow does the Powerbomb Symphony, opting for just for once this time around. And I got the win. 1, 2, 3. TNT champion is a new TNT champions crowned in the hometown of Wardlow in Pittsburgh, and he is the new champ.
Yeah,
there you
go. Well, and I think also that's definitely the Arn Anderson wisdom coming into play of telling Wardlow, like, Symphony is cool, but if you want to win that title, hit him once and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
So
everybody loves the Powerbomb Symphony. We get that, but your Powerbombs are so goddamn powerful enough that one is a one and done.
Well, and we've seen it before where he's done more than one and it ends up backfiring on him and he ends up losing the match in the end. So, and Arn's the guy, especially with Cody, who, was watching tapes back and, very much being the coach. So, I definitely think that's gonna play in with Wardlow a lot.
Bringing logic into the fold, man. Logic is always the key when it comes to that, so that's awesome. So there we go. Got a new TNT champion, and then we see a backstage segment with Renee and Sammy Guevara about tonight's main event. MJF interrupts, offering something as a proposal for Sammy. A guaranteed shot in the main event of Double or Nothing, if Sammy would just lay down. Both Sammy and Renee found this ridiculous. Sammy refused, saying that he is going to beat Jungle Boy tonight and basically run through the entire tournament just to get to MJF to become the champion. MJF then talks down to him on this, offering a guaranteed spot and a blank check. Sammy looks at the blank check and writes the price down, which stuns MJF, who may or may not consider it. He offers to shake hands, but Sammy said, "Friends don't shake hands; they hug." And they're like, and then they hug, and then they hug, and he's like, "Oh, okay, friends, yay!" See that kind of stuff like that I love between those two, because they're like, that was just awesome.
Yeah.
So,
but it also I like the fact that they're able to just call back to the Pinnacle inner circle stuff.
Yes.
Of
it all. So there you go. So let's see. Okay. So so we had all that happen, and then we got into Jay White versus Komander, and this is Jay White's in-ring debut for AEW Dynamite. This was a very good outing for him, going up against the Komander. Like, dude, I love Komander in and of itself. Komander is actually officially all elite tonight. He got the graphics, so that's good for him. Congratulations to Komander for that. I actually thought we already had one for him made, but apparently not. So he's actually.
I could have sworn we did too.
Yeah,
I definitely thought there was one.
But now that it's actually officially official, that's good for him. I actually do like that he's going to be sticking around. This was usually the time of night where my grandmother would just come in to put the dog into bed, and she legitimately watched like half the match right there. She's like, "Who the hell is that flippy dude?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's Komander." And he's like, and then she was like, "Who the hell is that guy?" I think he is when Jay White was just pointing to all his abs and everything. He's like, "Yeah, that's actually like one of the best professional wrestlers like in the world right now." And she's like, "Really? Is he really?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then anytime they chop each other, she like wince and like, oh, like she's like, "Are they really hurting each other?" It's like, "Do you hear the sound?" It's like, "Yes."
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, "What the hell is that guy doing out there?" And she was pointing to Shawn Spears, who I actually have no idea why the fuck he was out there just doing all the scorecards.
I have a theory, but I'll let you finish. I have a theory, but you go ahead.
So I'm like, yeah, I don't know why he's out there. She's like, well, see, he has a nice beard. Like, why can't people have more nice beards like that instead of that guy who, and then she was pointing to goddamn Juice Robinson, who has the beard that he has, and she's like, that beard is unkept and everything. That beard I don't like. Why can't people have that for Shawn Spears? So I'm like, Graham, just let them have their facial hair. Woman, like let them do what they need to do. And then she saw the rope walking spot for Komander, and she's like, how the hell does he do that? I'm like, he's just a different guy. He's a different man.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know what you want. And she's like, well, she's like, you watch this stuff. I'm too tired for this shit. I'm like, Graham, you watched half of it. You watched half of the match, so you obviously saw something.
Right.
But she's been coming in there. Well, I have the dog cage in my room now, so every single time she has to put the dog to bed, she's in there. But she's been watching more of this stuff, man. And honestly, if she can actually get into this stuff, just be between these guys doing flippy shit, they must be doing something right.
Right. Oh yeah. No,
but,
I'm fully convinced.
Match is great though. Other than my grandmother.
It was great. It was a great match, but I'm fully convinced that going forward, Shawn Spears is either going to actually help start fend off Bullet Club Gold, or he set himself to be the turncoat and he's actually going to join Bullet Club Gold.
Are we gonna see the Shawn Spears crack the dome with the goddamn chair piece again, or
I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna get that ever again.
You know he grabbed the wrong chair for that spot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember listening to the chair,
and for whatever reason. For whatever reason, they had the two chairs. He probably just forgot which one was
because they were sitting right.
One out of the multiple choice.
It's because they were sitting right next to each other.
Yeah,
the two chairs were right next to each other, he grabbed on one because they weren't
all right,
marked.
is it chair A or chair B? He picked chair B when it was supposed to be chair
A. because essentially all they did, and the reason why the chair did what it did is because they just sand the bottom of the chair underneath the metal. They sand it down so that it's like basically sheet metal thin, so that it's like getting hit with one of the when you see like GCW guys with the pizza trays. And they hit him, and it just
Well, when that spot happened,
I don't even think it was the wrong chair. It was just when they sanded it down, when they buffed it down like that, they did too much, and that's why it split. It wasn't supposed to split open. When it did, that's what caused Cody to get cut.
Yeah. So. When that spot initially happened, the next day I went to an indie event, and I was just talking to the people that were there. My friend from TOS, Mike Skyros, and all the people that were a part of it all and everything. I showed them the spot because they said, "Phil, did you watch the AEW show?" And I'm like, "Of course I did." And then they're like, "Phil, can you just pull up that spot real quick about the whole Cody and Shawn Spears thing? That way I can kind of explain something to me real quick." And they were explaining the exact same thing. So that's just something there that was very interesting to me when I saw that. And Deontay's back, so I'm switching it. But yeah, it was the exact same stuff. But yeah, Komander, Jay White, fantastic stuff.
I did see that match. I did see that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, this was a fantastic match. Komander officially being all elite is great. Jay White looking great in his in-ring debut for Dynamite, at least. This was fantastic, and Jay White got the win. So that's great.
Right.
So we see Jay goes for an attack, puts the boots to Komander as he taunts him before laying down a hard chop. Komander then blocks an Irish left overwhelming White with a fury of offense into the corner before sending Bullet Club Gold leader, quote unquote, we don't totally know, to the outside. Komander ends up on the middle rope, looking for a moonsault, but Jay turns it around, floors him as we go into picture-in-picture. We fast forward through the match, and we see White avoiding an attempt of another springboard move by Komander. Gets called with a Blade Runner to end the thing, and we're good to go. Bob's your uncle, and Jay White picked up the victory.
Bob's your uncle? Who's Bob?
You don't know Bob, man? It's the biggest Bob you ever seen, Mr. Bobby Lashley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay White though getting the win, that it made all the sense in the world in order for that to happen. So Jay White, good win there. They're doing stuff with him with this whole Bullet Club Gold thing, so I'm invested. I'm invested to see what happens.
Has anyone noticed though? Has anyone noticed they haven't been doing the too sweet? They've been doing the whole guns thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're okay. So there's a reason for that. They're not regular Bullet Club. They had Juice and Switchblade have their own thing. They had it before.
Yeah.
It's just something to set them as Bullet Club Gold apart from everyone else.
Speaking of David Finlay, really? David Finlay, of all people.
Yes.
Yes.
I like David. David Finlay. It's just him as Bullet Club leader.
Here's the thing, Deontay. I'm gonna clue you in on something. The same thing you just said about David Finlay. There have been people that said the same thing about AJ Styles, about Finn Balor, about Kenny Omega. Every time there's a new leader of Bullet Club, someone has said, "Oh, I don't think that's gonna work. Bullet Club is dead, man. It's dead." Every time they change leaders, there's
single time. Yes.
And every time it works out perfectly fine.
Well, I hope David Finlay proves me wrong, because I like David Finlay. I liked him.
David Finlay's fantastic, man.
I like him and Juice Robinson. Finn Juice, I like them. So I hope that,
I got full confidence in David Finlay to make that work, honestly. And if Bullet Club has lasted this long, dude, come on.
How has Bullet Club lasted this long? He's been, 10 years now?
It's been longer than that.
It's definitely been longer than that, yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, it's just because it works. Japanese wrestling faction warfare works over there. So, which part of the reason why it works is because they cycle people out. They didn't do like NWO did in WCW, where it's like, oh, you wanted in NWO? Cool, come on. And just start putting everybody in an NWO shirt. So,
to be fair, everybody named Miami is in Bullet Club. To be fair.
Yeah. So after the match, Juice Robinson brings in Spears at ringside from the Bullet Club Gold. They attack him until Ricky Starks makes his way to the ring for the save. He basically speared, not literally, but I honestly thought it could possibly happen, considering that he did this to MJF. He almost speared the guy out of his goddamn shoes, which is fantastic.
And his shades did not come off.
Nope.
Dude, I love Ricky Starks' spear. I know, like, the spear is, like, used by a ton of people nowadays. But holy shit, that man, when he actually spears you, it looks really impactful, and he actually puts some emphasis on that shit. So I like his spear.
You know why it looks so good, though? You know why it looks so good? I can tell you exactly why. It's because he's not using it to set up a finisher.
Yes.
It's just a move.
Yeah.
It's just a move that he is able to do, and he does it really well. That's why it looks so good.
When he does, like, the swan diving part of it, that makes it so, like innovative to me. It makes it look so much more interesting than any of the other spears that we have seen, because it's just something completely different.
Yep.
I like it when people put their own spin on things like that, and that there, it just makes it more meaningful.
He got like a top 3 spear about. I think he got like a top 5 spear all the time. His spear is just great.
I mean, I'm not going to totally argue with you on that. I mean, there are probably people that could, but I mean, yeah, there's a conversation when it comes to spears, because a lot of people do them.
Spears and how good it looks. Sean, what's his name? Ricky got to be up there. He got to be up there.
A lot of people do them, and a lot of people have their own different ways of doing them. So it all depends on how the style and the actual impact of the mood works for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was great. We'll see if Shawn Spears sticks with this whole alliance with Ricky Starks for now. I highly doubt it's gonna stick around, because I honestly think Shawn Spears is just a natural heel to me.
I'm not gonna lie. I forgot Shawn Spears was even in the company. I forgot he was even in the company.
Well, that's the thing about this roster.
Well, I mean, he's been. He's also been gone for legitimate reasons too.
Yeah.
He has his wife just had a baby. His wife just had a baby. He also runs a wrestling.
Also owns a wrestling
in Florida.
School. So yeah,
yeah.
Flatbacks, right? With Tyler?
Breeze? And yeah. And since Breeze is doing more stuff with WWE, when Tyler Breeze is doing more stuff in WWE, somebody's got to be there to run the school. So
yeah. So backstage, we are about to talk to FTR about their championship win, but then all of a sudden they got informed that Mark Briscoe's in the goddamn trainer's room, and they got in a panic. Jeff Jarrett and Satnam Singh and basically everybody from that squad came in, and said, no, we got this. And FTR was like, no, he's our friend, so fuck off. What happened? And then they're like, yeah, no. They're like, she's like, oh yeah, I got attacked, all this kind of stuff. I'm fine, right, dog? He's like, no, you're not fine. He's like, I'm fine. Look at me, I'm fine. And then he's like, it's like, we'll take care of it. And he's like, no, we're gonna take care of it. It's like, follow Arlie. Whatever.
So
there's like some 8-man tag team match happening on Rampage.
So they're fighting over Mark Briscoe, pretty much.
Yes.
And so there's some stuff.
There's some 8-man tag team match happening on Rampage. Go watch it if you want to watch it.
It's
on Saturday.
If it's not a custody of Mark Briscoe match, I don't want it. It needs to be a custody of Mark Briscoe match.
It's on Saturday. I don't know.
Well, I think so Brett actually talked about this on his podcast.
Probably something happened on. If something happened on Ring of Honor, that might have been something.
Probably.
I don't remember when. I think that may have been when it was, or it may have been something before that. But they had a moment where basically there's this whole thing because Lethal and Mark had that match on Dynamite. Yes. His debut match on Dynamite.
Yes.
They're friends.
They're friends in real life, yes. Yeah.
So, right. But also within the confines of Ring of Honor, they were very much friends. Outside of him and his brother constantly getting into feuds.
Yeah.
But the idea is that now that Mark is now a singles competitor, basically because he doesn't have his brother to tag with anymore. So Jay's like, the idea behind it is that Jay's trying to want to
be for him. Yes.
Right. It's not even that he's wanting to be there for him. He's trying to bring Mark Briscoe under the tutelage of Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, and mold and everything, which makes sense. Yeah. So, hey, I gotta get more consistent watching Ring of Honor. I do. I know.
Me and you both. I haven't watched it since episode 3. It comes out on a weird time, and I don't have.
I'm not episode behind, but it's usually
and it don't be on those little sites either.
It's on at 8 p.m. on the Honor Club. It's on at 8 p.m.
I'm not paying for the Honor Club. I usually just use those sites, but it usually don't be on there until after.
No, it's not on there because it's on Honor Club.
It's exclusive. It's 100% exclusive. Like you have to have Honor Club in order to get it, which means that those sites have to.
I have my ways of doing things, and yes, they are on there. They're on there after the show is aired. They're on there.
Well, I usually like watching it on the Honor Club because when I got the Honor Club in the beginning, I was like, yeah. Now that we actually got the Ring of Honor television products.
I just don't want to pay $10 for just Ring of Honor. I don't like.
Shit. It's not just the new Ring of Honor. It's everything Ring of Honor.
It's everything.
I know it's the old Ring of Honor and all that, but that's all it is. I want to be able to watch the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
It's basically WWE Network for Ring of Honor.
Pretty much.
It is pay-per-views. It also is pay-per-views.
It is pay-per-views too. Yeah.
It is everything. Everything in the Ring of Honor library is on that app now, including the upcoming pay-per-views.
He wants also AEW in there too, but AEW is never going to be a part of that, dude.
No,
AEW is never going to be a part of that.
What I mean is when they have those Ring of Honor pay-per-views, have them be live on there instead of like that WWE Network. They usually don't be live. They usually don't put them on until like a week later.
They're all live. The pay-per-views are live when they happen. Yes. Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And I didn't know that.
Like the Super Card of Honor, if you watch it on the Honor Club, that was happening live.
Oh shit! Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yep. All the pay-per-views that they're going to be doing now, when it comes to streaming those pay-per-views on Honor Club, they're live.
Shit,
and then you get all the. And then you got all the other stuff from 2002 on.
Yeah, the only reason now I would be weary of, like, if you haven't already got Honor Club, is if they're going to actually do the streaming deal. Because if they've finally gotten word from Warner Media that they can start doing stuff on HBO Max, they will probably just put, especially with the Collision show, if they start using AEW or using Ring of Honor talent for Collision to fill out that roster, there's no reason to pay an extra $10 and pay for HBO Max to watch Dynamite or Collision and see all the same guys you were paying $10 to watch.
That's why I said they should all just they should have just all put it all under the same stuff.
They should, but at the same time, that's not up to them.
True.
And Honor Club is the only thing that Tony Khan has streaming service wise where he can put stuff on without a network's telling him that he can't, giving him the go ahead beforehand, because he owns the rights to everything tied to Ring of Honor, including Honor Club. So that streaming service is his. Now, what he can do, technically, I think, if he can work it out with with Warner Media, I think he can actually, like, eventually he could just transition Honor Club into essentially a WWE Network standalone streaming thing, and you can have AEW ROH on there. It's just a matter of Warner Media owns the rights to AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage and any AEW content right now. They are the sole owners of those rights, those TV rights. Which means if they don't approve the streaming service, it doesn't go up. So,
yeah.
Oh, okay. That's interesting to know.
And my phone basically just crapped out on me. So we're just gonna do this, by
we only got the main event left.
Remembrance here.
No.
Well,
forgot about that.
So, I know what happened next was this whole Jericho and Cole thing that happened.
I missed that whole segment.
Which was fantastic. Like, go back and watch it, bro, because this was fantastic.
I definitely will go back and watch it because I fell asleep after the Komander and Jay White match.
Yeah, this was great. Jericho and Cole, they basically just went back and forth saying, like, Cole was saying how much he respected Jericho on his way up and everything like that because Jericho is one of the greatest to ever do this. And then Jericho's like, yeah, it's great that you said all that about me, but I could care less about you. Like, I could give two shits. And he basically said, like, I think you're basically just like a pompous asshole and everything like that. And he's like, well,
what did you say fuck him for?
Basically, and yeah, man, this all basically just turned into a big setup by the JAS. Jericho attacked Cole in the corner. Daniel Garcia was out there too. They were doing the boots in the corner. And then Britt Baker comes out. And Britt Baker, she's like, why are you doing this? All this kind of stuff. Like, he is my guy. Like, all this. And then just slapped the fuck out of Jericho. And for whatever reason, I'm like, I know they're not going to do it. But what if Jericho just fucking code broke her right then and there? It wasn't gonna happen.
I would fucking love that.
This is why I think this is gonna lead to a stadium stampede or anarchy in the arena thing. Because I feel like we can get away with, like, obviously they want to be careful of doing intergender matches just because they're on national TV.
Yes.
As opposed to, like, Impact, who, can do it, kind of get away with it a little bit easier. But
yeah,
I think anarchy in the arena or stadium stampede is the perfect opportunity, 100%, to have Jericho just rear back and pop one of them, either Britt or Jay. Like, honestly, I'd much rather see him hit Jamie Hayter, only because I know Jamie Hayter will just turn around and hit him back, or just manhandle the fuck out of him.
Jamie could do anything, and I'd be I'd be set. But yeah, I mean, I totally get that. So, but yeah,
I think Jamie would take Jericho on a fight. She'd take Jericho on a fight.
But like all of this was so good, and then the Outcasts came into play here. They attacked Britt Baker from behind, and during all of that, they handcuffed Adam Cole to the ring rope and had him watch Britt Baker get assaulted with a kendo stick by Saraya and the Outcast members. And they stand tall, and Adam Cole is, audibly saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen, I never wanted any of this to happen. This is just fantastic.
So this is basically like Triple H being handcuffed to the Roman Randy Orton, DDT, and Stephanie. It's the equivalent to that, basically.
Except for the kissing part, yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if that would have happened. Holy
I mean, AEW would totally do something like that, but
the segment overall was really good.
Yeah.
I thought that the whole I don't know if it's because I could hear every single one of them, or if it was just because I have a really bad habit, especially now that I've started going to all these indie shows where I can hear more. I've noticed a lot of wrestlers just will say the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And it's one of those things of like, come on, think of something else to say, because if you keep saying, no, Britt, no, I'm sorry, no, Britt, no, I'm sorry, okay, you say it 2 or 3 times, get that, in the segment, go, take it home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're driving it into the ground a couple of too many times.
I get that.
But, and then I also, it just because the idea of what they wanted to do and what they did was great. I just needed a little bit more, I don't know. I guess I felt like the threat there wasn't as, it's like, yes, you're handcuffed and being made to sit here and watch Saraya beat your girlfriend with a kendo stick, but we've also seen Britt Baker in worse. We've literally watched her in death matches,
right,
against Thunder Rosa, and walk away from them.
With
so,
thumbtacks
yeah. So it almost, knowing that, it almost makes Adam Cole out to be kind of a bitch, in a sense. I hate to say that, but it does, because he's about to cry because his girlfriend's getting hit with a stick, and she's like, "Bitch, I've bled on this show before." I mean, like I said, I know that's going to be the general complaint from most people, is that, well, what was he so worried about? It's not like they had her, it's not like they cut her open. If there was any time for AEW to do a blood spot, this would have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Britt would have been, and Britt would have totally been up to do it. She would have totally been up to do it.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, but because I get why they did the beatdown on Britt, because they're in Pittsburgh, and so it got a little bit more heat that way. But knowing the injuries that Adam Cole just came back from, literally just came back from, and the stuff that they've been showing on All Access, I would have rather Britt been handcuffed to the ropes and she had to watch Jericho step on Adam's neck.
That would have been cool. That would have been nice.
Yeah, doing
or threaten to give him another concussion.
It's when
that's a little bit of a flip there. Would have been nice to see.
What's his name? Did that to Edge one time. I forgot who it was.
Right.
Step up.
Yeah. that nice little bit of a flip there would have been cool to see, because now she's basically being tortured and having to watch her boyfriend, husband.
Right. Well, and it also
now, right?
They're not married. They're
not married. They're not married yet.
They're not married. She's still boyfriend. All right, I still got a shot then. That's great. But
I know.
But yeah, so they're good there. And yeah, like having her basically being tortured in her hometown by watching the boyfriend get attacked, and then that way I can swoop in and say it's like, yeah.
Cool.
I can
It's
swoop
the idea of
like save her life.
They want to have them be, really cement them as the baby faces in this feud. And I feel like Britt's had her ass beat before, and then as a heel has turned around and complained about it and gotten heat for it, and it worked perfect. I feel like to have her be the one, and also emotional wise, I feel like the emotional distress would have been way more for her to have to watch.
It works better. It works better with the woman being in distress and emotional. Yeah.
No. Well, yes, but in this specific instance, yes, because we just came off of all the stuff of them talking about him having a concussion, like almost not being able to wrestle again.
Yeah.
And not only him being to the point where he couldn't sleep at night over this, but then she's stressed because he's stressed.
Yes.
And then he's stressed even more because he's now stressed her out.
He's now stressing her out.
To see her have, right. So like having her hand up to the ropes, and then Jericho like just dog stomping the shit out of Adam Cole's head. And just because all you really need is that one scream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That one piercing scream from Britt, and it's like, oh shit, that's uh-oh.
That would have been like.
Then we would have been in gears. Like, this went too far, and this got real personal, real quick, and it. Yeah,
I think it's still gonna happen. I think it's still.
I mean, there's still a good chance that they could do that down the road.
There's a month. But I here's the thing, and I'm sorry to bring this up again, but of course it's gonna have the same impact, because I mean, with everything going on with Adam Cole right now, I mean, doing something like that to Britt Baker, it's gonna be devastating, and she's gonna make it look like a freaking $1 million, and make it like they're gonna do the right things in order to make that happen. If it is where it's gonna go, but and it's gonna work anywhere they do it. But if they did it in Pittsburgh tonight, dude, that would have made it even more special. Like, so I'm liking where things are going. A lot of people did not really care for the start of like this whole Jericho and Adam Cole. Like, did I ever have that on my bingo card? No, you probably didn't. But it's gonna be great.
I have learned at this point since the beginning, like as soon as AEW got started in 2019, I have written off having certain things on my bingo card for the year. Like, I've just gone ahead and been like, you know what? There are too many variables at play now. Anything is on the table.
Yeah.
So. And I even with being told outright that like the Becky stuff, like all her tweets recently, being taught they're just working into a storyline because she hurt her foot. I'm like, cool, that's great. I hope her foot gets better, but I'm still gonna fantasy book her showing up, at one of the next Dynamites and just coming in and laying fucking waste to fucking out the Outcasts. Because I feel like that would be.
Wouldn't it make sense for her to join the Outcast though? Wouldn't it make sense for her to join it?
No.
So she'd be the ex-WWE star.
Yes, she's an ex-WWE star, but she hasn't even been there until now. It would make sense. It would make more sense for her to join Outcast if she came in, got a huge pop, and then they didn't do anything with her for like a month. Then she could be pissed. Like, y'all were all excited to see me. Now you fucking booing me. I guess they were right. I'm going with him.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens. But we then had this 6-man tag team match between the Acclaimed and the Jericho Appreciation Society, Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, and Jake Hager. If the Acclaimed lost, they would have to join the JAS, which that was never gonna fucking happen. So they retained.
So I'm glad they won.
They didn't retain anything, but they retained the right to not be a part of the group, so to speak. I don't know if this is gonna go anywhere after this, but I mean, this was an okay 6-man tag. It wasn't like, I mean, I don't know what else to say other than it was just all right. The only thing I will say though is that, man, the Acclaimed have lost their luster, because of course they're still going to be fan favorites either way. But what happened? They lost those tag team titles, and they're just like another thing on the card now, which sucks because they're great.
That was going to happen. I just had fun. It was going to happen.
I mean, so this is another one of those generational things of you can't keep everyone.
You can't keep everybody at the top of the card.
Top.
Yeah.
Right.
And I get that.
Like, you can't do things have to fluctuate. You know what I mean? So like you have to be able. It has to be a thing where they can go back down the card so that someone else can come up.
Especially with this type of a roster, you have to let other people get their freaking chances, because if they don't, then it's just going to be the same people, and you're just going to be like, where the fuck are these guys when they really should be getting opportunities? So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's just good seeing them on TV at least. You know, that's the way I look at it, and the Acclaimed are still over, so it's not like they're going anywhere.
Right.
So it is what it is. Wasn't a bad match anyway either. So I mean, they're all very formidable. And good stuff.
Think about how Daddy Ass can still go. Billy Gunn, that man can still go.
Yeah. The man has kept in shape. The man looks fantastic, and honestly, like he looks good. He looks good in there.
He's supposed to be a grandfather. He looks like a fucking chiseled bitch.
He looks good in there, man. Like, listen, I applaud stuff like that.
Furniture all the time.
I applaud stuff like
staying in shape.
Like, the fact that you're at that stage of your career and you're still going at the rate you're going, and you're actually making it work with the things that you were given, like, I applaud you for that. Like, good, like that's great stuff. And you're giving the rub to the Acclaimed while you're at it, makes it all the more special.
Yes, we respect Daddy.
Well, the rub to the Acclaimed, and tonight also to Erica, because he did stop over there and say something to her.
Of course, yes.
Oh yeah, she was there.
Yes, she was there, and I saw her multiple times on my television.
Yeah, I saw her once. I woke up.
So she also has. Yeah, she's also pretty much like when I posted that picture of me and Eric Bischoff, and was like childhood dream achieved. She basically has done the same thing, but she got her own because she got a picture with Kenny, but then she also got a picture with Ricky, and now Johnny's jealous. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Johnny has to be jealous, man. Oh,
Johnny is definitely jealous. He's jealous.
She sent him the picture while we were on stream earlier.
On TTP, yeah. I was there. I saw the whole thing.
Well, I wonder what was Johnny's reaction? I missed that stream.
I got a very good screenshot, Phil, of part of his reaction.
Yeah. I need to see that.
I was like, as soon as she posts that picture of her and Ricky, I'm just gonna Photoshop him in just to help him out. I'm just waiting for her to post it.
Yeah.
No, when I woke up, I seen him like, yo, that's good.
And then we got the main event. the main event of Jungle Boy and Sammy Guevara, they did moves in this fucking thing that should be fucking finishers, and they're kicking at it too. I'm like, bro, these guys legitimately, like, they're fantastic. Like, you can't not look at these two and want to just, like, I don't know how anybody can hate the in-ring styles of these two. And I know, like, personalities or whatever, like, you can hate Sammy out of the ring or whatever, like, whatever he's done outside the ring, whatever. Like, but in the ring, man, that guy can fucking go with the best of them. Jungle Boy, I know he is. I know he's not the biggest guy in the freaking world, but the guy is great, and you know, the man is going to be a champion one day. He is going to be a freaking champion, and
he's a great wrestler, and he's dating Anna Jay. He's just winning at life right now.
Well, dating Anna Jay is definitely a huge plus, but I mean, dude, both of these guys are great, and nobody should really be, you know, floundering any type of work ethic that they do, because they can fucking go. And they cooked tonight, man.
I was in a Discord call with some friends, and I was watching. I told them, I was like, "Look, I'm here, but mentally, I'm checked out until this match is over." I said, "It's the main event. You won't understand because none of you watch wrestling." I was like, "Just give me a minute." I'm like, "I'm not even worried about muting. Just watch this. Y'all continue about your business." And then, like, it got to the spot where Sammy went to pick up Jungle Boy, and he went into a back flip, but right when he got upside down, Sammy grabbed him by the head and dropped him. And I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Yes. Oh my god. Yes. That shit.
I was like, what happened? What happened? I'm like, I can't begin to explain this.
And then the when Jungle Boy leapt off the top rope and looked like he was going for a goddamn blockbuster, but he turned it into like some kind of Canadian destroyer type of thing. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
I need to go back and watch this match because I missed this whole match.
Oh yeah.
I do know that Sammy won by count out though.
Like,
I mean, this match definitely it set them up, like, it proved like why they've been called pillars of AEW. 100%.
This one. Like, what the fuck
Holy
is that?
shit. Holy
shit. Oh yeah.
And then he just kicks out of two. I was on TikTok.
Like, the other spot was just fucking insane because it's literally Sammy gets behind Jungle Boy like he's gonna suplex him or backdrop him, but Jungle Boy reverses it by doing a backflip over Sammy.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he gets vertically upside down, Sammy just wraps his arm around Jungle Boy's head and drops him directly on his head.
I need to see that.
I'm surprised they didn't post that spot on Twitter, man, because like you would think they would.
It probably is now. Somebody had to have posted it.
Somebody had to have, like, actually, but I'm talking about the AEW Twitter because they only post like certain spots.
I need to see that. That shit crazy. That sounds
crazy.
Just
watch the match, bro, because it's so good. Like, that's the thing about these tournaments or the best of 7. I mean, that was kind of, you know, AEW doing AEW things, but like, that's the thing about these tournaments and stuff like this, man. Like, you're going to get great quality matches with great quality individuals, and you are going to have fun. Yeah, sure, this tournament's only 3 people, but man, they're gonna try to make this tournament the best possible tournament that they could possibly even make it for the people that they have in it and the format that they're doing this in. This is great. Sammy Guevara picked up the win. It was by count out, but it was a good kind of count out because MJF got involved. It was a dastardly type of thing, and it was a good type of count out here because I mean it made sense for the story that they were going in with Sammy and MJF, and this was fine. for the ending that it was. Normally, I would hate it. I would usually hate a count out win for like a
trust me,
tournament.
there's a lot of people right now that are hating it. There are a lot of people right now bitching about it.
Oh, I know. I know, and I can totally understand why they are. But to me, when it comes to this, and like I could just see how things are going to be possibly laid out with this, I'm fine with it. Just like I was fine with the double count out when they did the Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed thing, because Bronson could not lose. Bronson could not lose, and Bobby definitely could not have lost. So the double count out made sense.
I did see that part of the match where MJF helped him, and I think the count out. At first, I was like, "Why are they doing the count out?" But I guess it protects the both, and then it gives Jungle Boy an actual reason to like, "Yo, I was screwed out of the match."
It gives Jungle Boy a legitimate reason, saying, "Hey, I was legitimately cheated out of the first round of that whatever goddamn tournament you tried to do in order to just make sure that I was not going to be a part of anything when it comes to you. You're dunking me. I'm going to get you one-on-one whether you like it or not."
You know what I want to see?
So
the next 3 months,
it works. It works, and it's going to make sense in the end.
You know what I want to see? Instead of having them all face off at once, I want to see him face each of them over the next few months, and then say Vince is around full gearish.
Yeah,
we get the fatal 4-way match.
That's what I was saying. We're going to get all three of these guys one-on-one. We're going to get all three of these guys one-on-one with MJF. And then it'll culminate in the fatal 4-way. It has to go to a fatal 4-way. The fact that they built all of this not to get to a fatal 4-way is kind of ridiculous. They got to get there at some point.
Well, I won't say that they have to, because there are a lot of times stuff like this, it's very much on us getting way too hyped about the possibility of something happening, to the point that when it doesn't, we're now like, fuck this shit. Fuck them for not doing what we thought they were going to do. When they never told us, you know what I mean? They never actually said they were going to do anything.
We set this up on ourselves all the time. We definitely do. Like that's the thing. Like, we totally do that. But
I think this is
you're legitimately setting up a formula to make a 4-way. That's my point. So
yeah. If they weren't doing the 4-way, they wouldn't have had all four of them in the ring at the same time. I don't think it. If they weren't doing it, they wouldn't have had them.
Why not? We've seen that happen before in WWE hundreds of times.
Yeah,
countless times where like 50 people come out and say, I want to be next. I want to be next, and then it ends up being like one
out of those 50 people.
And somebody else. Yeah. So
it's just a missed opportunity.
We'll see.
I just don't want it to be like a 4 horsewoman thing. It's a missed opportunity because they never did the fatal 4-way for the 4 horsewomen. They got to do the fatal 4-way for the.
They did though. They did that in NXT.
They didn't do it. No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
When?
They did it one time in NXT.
The fatal 4-way between them. Yeah, it was. Yeah. The match that never happened was having the 4 horsewomen of WWE and face off against the 4 horsewomen of UFC. While they had all 4 of them there. Then they got rid of. Yeah. Then they got rid of Marina and what's her face.
They got rid of Marina and
I can't remember any of that.
Jessamine Duke.
I know one of them is married to Roderick Strong. That's all I know.
It's that one all the time. We always remember Marina Shafir because she's actually in AEW, but Jessamine Duke, that's the one that's always lost in the shuffle. Jessamine Duke, I don't even think wrestles anymore.
She went back. I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if she just went back to UFC or MMA.
I don't even think she wrestles anymore. But
probably not.
I mean, way to find out.
But yeah, that was your Dynamite, guys. That it is what it is. We got what we got, and honestly, I thought the show was pretty good. Were there some booking decisions that I didn't personally like, yeah, but no show is perfect. So, so we take the good with the bad and we move on. And now we got Friday Night SmackDown. So
yeah, I gotta go back
and see what happens.
Because I missed like 90% of this damn show. I was tired, man. I was tired.
You're gonna. Well, here's the thing. Now AEW, you're gonna have to change your you're gonna have to change your banner for Twitter now because Powerhouse Hobbs no longer the TNT champion. God damn it! See, this is also your doing. Okay, this is also your doing. You wouldn't have to be changing these goddamn banners all the time on Twitter if you actually continue to have a championship reign for the TNT title. Hold on for less than 2 weeks, for more than 2 weeks. I should say.
They gotta change that banner every 2 weeks. That's crazy.
It's kind of crazy, you know. Now I'm just fucking around with them at this point, but you know. That's it, guys. We're gonna get the fuck to bed. We appreciate you.
Hold on.
We love you.
Real quick, one before you sign off.
Yes.
The graphic is in your Twitter DMs. So because I don't know if it's on this side or not. But let's go. We can go ahead and talk about this. No,
not yet. I definitely. Yeah.
All right.
You set it up, so you have the floor here.
All right. So, next Saturday, the 29th, myself, Phil, and TJ, it's going to be a simulcast between Outside the Brand and Main Event Players as the first episode of Off the Top Rope, as you see behind me here somehow. Yeah, there we go. So not only is it going to be the first episode of Off the Top Rope and a simulcast, but we have a special guest, our first ever wrestler interview with the Devotion Championship Wrestling heavyweight champion. He's the Quad Daddy, Brett Buffshay.
That is I love that nickname. Oh my god, that's perfect.
Great name. I bet he probably has
a great nickname.
He has the word quad tattooed on his quad, actually.
That is awesome. Oh my god.
Not even a joke. We'll talk about it on Saturday, 100%.
That's not a joke, not a joke, or you are joking.
It's legit. No, it's legit.
It's legit.
That is hilarious.
It's legit.
That is hilarious.
Well, like I said, we'll talk. I will definitely be asked on Saturday.
You gotta send me some of his stuff. That way I don't like a freaking blithering idiot.
He's almost all of it is on YouTube and on Fight. I will go through and go back and check the match because he's not in every single episode. But I will go and pull most of and just go back to the episodes that I've already watched. Which we can talk about a couple of things as soon as we sign off here before we completely leave. But yeah. So that's going to be live on the Main Event Players Twitch. It's also going to be live on Outside the Brand's YouTube channel at the same time.
It'll be right here.
It's gonna be 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah, that's the calculations.
Okay. So.
Goddamn, Gonzo.
Oh yeah. And then here pretty soon we're gonna start this tournament, the Main Event Championship tournament.
Yep, well you'll see this guy right here. Be the first inaugural champion.
We are currently working on all of the bells and whistles so we can get this thing rolling.
Sooner or later you'll see that belt around my shoulder, and I will.
You're wrong, bro.
Maybe when we put these on the merch store, you can get you a replica.
I don't need a replica. Imagine. I'm gonna have a real.
I'm not gonna have to get a replica. I'm gonna have the real fucking thing, guys. Dude, it's gonna be great. But yeah, guys, this is great. We technically, for Outside the Brand, this is technically gonna be our second one because you guys saw our last one with the dumpster Josie.
When the hell did
that
do
was
that?
a great interview. We did that a couple of months. We did that a couple of months ago, and it was a great chance talking to him. And it was a great chance talking to him. So that was Rachel, and he was awesome. Like he was totally like down to earth with us, mainly because of the fact we did our research obviously so that we didn't look like freaking idiots talking about him, because he did so much for what his career was at that time. So we knew what he was about and everything like that, but we could only talk so much because we only did the research that we did. But from the stories that he was telling us and everything like that, and the questions that we had, it was a great interview. And now we get the chance to talk to this guy. I'm going to do as much research as I can so that I can do that. And yeah, it's just going to be fun, guys. It's going to be a great time. And
it's a great opportunity. I can tell you one thing, actually, Phil, that you'll really like about Buff Shay. He's kind of got a connection to Cody. Because I'm gonna double check and confirm, but I'm pretty sure he trained at the Nightmare Factory for a little bit.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So
we need,
because I know Manny did. Manny Lemons. So
Manny Lemons, yep. Yeah.
It's Leon. Is it Manny Lee?
Lemons.
It's Manny Lemons.
Oh yeah.
It's Lemons, yeah.
Mandy Lemon.
Yeah, because he's the man, the brand, the king of the lemonade stand. I know his whole spiel.
Yeah.
He runs DCW, and so which he's one of the other interviews I'm trying to get to. So, but that's probably what I'm probably gonna have to pay for.
I got followed on TikTok by some indie wrestlers. Y'all ever heard of the Stepdads? They're indie wrestlers. They just followed me. I could try to get an interview with them.
Nice.
Hell
yeah.
I've heard of them. I don't think I ever seen any of their work.
Yeah, because they follow me on Twitter, and I can try to get them an interview with y'all.
That's interesting. Yeah, that would be cool. Man, it's going to be a great opportunity. Honestly, it's going to be a great thing just to get our feet wet and just get our feet in the door when it comes to this. We are legitimately trying to make moves here around this place, and this is going to be like step one, and honestly it's only up from here. So this is a great opportunity. We're going to take it, we're going to run with it, and man, it's just going to be a great time, man. So stay tuned. It is going to be April 29th, so mark the calendar. Good stuff, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring tonight's episode. OTB at checkout gets the $20 off your first purchase. Go follow all of us on social media. All the TikTok links are down in the description below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @PhillyMount_. Go get the merch at Teespring. All the stuff will be down in the description below as well. So go check that out. And if they don't have anything else to say, we're out.
I do actually. You know where to find me: TikTok, NBA Tail 2, or NBA TikTok Wrestling. And also, if you're feeling a little down and you need some energy, you should go to w.gg and use my code NBATAE. That's NBATAE for 10% off your order on anything W Energy.
Awesome, bro. All right, guys. Stay tuned for the interview. Stay tuned for Friday for the Friday Night SmackDown post show right here on OTB. And we're going to be signing off. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Peace out.
Hello. Hakuna Matata.